Time, future, and destiny, they are things that we cannot see. We don't know where we're going. We can only see what we leave behind. We can only know our future by seeing our past. This is the knowledge that we need to have. This is the way that I will introduce you to the reading of the Trecena of the Jun Imox. So this is the place where I dropped the camera initially, and this is the place where I want to share with you the reading for this Trecena of the lizard, the beginning of the Cholquij, if we start from Jun Imox, or the middle of the Cholquij, if we start with Jumbats. So Jun Imox, the one lizard, is like the image of an eggshell, where we have all of our potential and where we want to recover our free will, our power, our creative power. The lizard, the crocodile, is this intense and immense abundance of desire to live and to create, to be a creator. We want to be a creator. We want to create our lives and create the world we live in. That's the consciousness that we are invited to recover in this Trecena. We are invited to acknowledge and understand that we're not just passers-by, that we cannot live this life being little. We cannot just say, oh, I'm just a regular person. We gotta stop that. We gotta begin being the creators of this world. We gotta begin being the gods that create this world and that create our lives, and have the power to decide over the destiny, not just of us, but of humanity. For this, we need two crucial ingredients. But before that, I'm going to talk about how we've lost our infancy. How our biggest hurt in our lives, the biggest creator of everything that we are missing, everything that we want to recover, everything that impedes us from being plentiful, is the fact that we have lost our infancy. We didn't get to live our infancy. We all had some sort of thing missing in our infancies. And for this, I'm going to give you the gift of knowing, and that has a lot to do with this Trecena, the recovering of knowing and the recovering of creation, and of the power to create has to do with the recovering of knowledge, of knowing. So we want to recover knowledge and knowing. In order to recover our infancy, we have to first recover the knowledge of nature, the knowing of the cosmos. And I hope that this is a piece of that. That's why I'm doing this, because I consider this information very important to do this, to recover this lost infancy and to recover the power to create our lives. So part of this knowledge is that time and the future and the past are things that are really not here. It's very important that we study and we understand our ancestors, the places of power, the temples, the pyramids they built. But we have to understand that in this dynamic cosmos, this living cosmos, this other worldview, where nothing is strictly material, everything is fluid, everything is energy, and everything is incomplete. It's constantly being completed, and there's a lot more to be completed in this universe. Then our ancestors, the temples they left, the legacies they left, the history we have, it's all just a mind construct. It's just the shell, like the shell of this egg of the lizard. We have to learn to use the shell where we fill in the rest. And we're doing that constantly, but are we doing it to empower ourselves? Or are the mainstream thinkers doing it to disempower ourselves or to empower a money paradigm that is designed to take away our lives and to turn everything in nature into junk? So we have to really switch that worldview. We have to recover this knowledge. And this knowledge comes from the inside. We can observe it in nature. It's also outside of us. But it comes from within. We fill it in. We make the content of the understanding. We have to understand that we live in a cosmos that is way more vast than just the material planet we're seeing right now. That this is just part of the space that's filled in with what we see here. And that the rest of the space, which is outside time and space, is what we construct with our spirits and what we construct with our minds. Knowing this, we have to then align what we fill into the egg with what we desire. We have to understand what we desire. We have to know what we want. And we have to know that what we want is to come back to a life in balance and come back to a life in plenitude and abundance. Those are three elemental principles that we must have, that are part of nature and that we must recover, and that those were the things that were not present in our childhood and in this period of history. And that's why we didn't get our childhood. We didn't get our childhood because we were trapped in a world of war. We are still trapped in a world of war, and that's why our parents were not able to give us everything that we wanted, be it attention, or be it resources, or be it presence, or whatever it was, nature. We didn't get what we needed when we were kids, and that's why we have that hurt. And that's also why we are attached to being childish, and we don't want to grow up and face the reality. This is the reality. And so I want to invite you to understand this, to recover your power, and to make a little egg and put that infancy into the near future. Because right now, we have to focus on being adults and getting out of the mess we are in. That's why we're doing this project, this tribe, this community, and I hope and I know there are a lot more projects like this one, and we all need to work for that project. We all need to focus right now on gathering the energy, gathering the knowledge, constructing and deconstructing ourselves so that we can reach that point in our lives, that we can reach that place in our lives, those communities, those spaces that we want to work for, where we will be able to have the abundance, the freedom, nature, and community, four elemental aspects that will allow us to have a second childhood, to live our childhoods again. That's my invitation, that's my vision, and that's what is going to happen in this coming 13 days. We're going to seed that, we're going to fill in that shell so that that can grow for the next 8 years and for the next thousands of years, for the next golden era to come. So walking the path of our ancestors, returning to a past, to a future where we thrive and where we live in harmony and abundance with Earth and all of the living beings. That is what we want to do, and for that we want to recover the knowledge, we want to recover the sovereignty, the freedom, and the power. And for that, in this beginning of the Jun Imox, of the middle of the Humbatz Cholkich, or the beginning of the Jun Imox Tzolkin, or Cholkich, I want to invite you to two brand new activities we have ready for you. One is the Toltec training course that we've launched today, and it's already uploaded and online for you to join and begin your Toltec training so that you can recover a lot of power that has been lost, that we've lost. And then the other activity we have to announce is not ready yet, but we're announcing the Mayan Central Rainforest Classical Sites Expedition. We've discovered that we can connect in a single journey all the different main sites, main classical sites of the Mayans in the central rainforests in a single journey. So we will start in San Cristobal de las Casas, this colonial, beautiful city full of indigenous people. And then we will go into Sahala, which is a permacultural community where we can share with them a couple of days and experience the life they're having in abundance, in creativity, and in freedom. Then we will go to Tonina, this really amazing site that is not very well known, that has the tallest pyramid in all of Mesoamerica. Then we will go to Palenque, Nachancan, which is my place, the place I've been raised in, or I've been trained into Mayan worldview in. Then we will go to Lacanja, to the rainforest of the Lacandons, where we will share with the native Lacandons, and we will visit a lagoon that has a pyramid in the middle of the lagoon and a very big unexplored archaeological site next to it. This is very unknown, and it's a very unique opportunity. And also I lived with the Lacandons, so we will be visiting them. After Lacanja, we will go to Chilan, the place in the river hidden in the green, which is translation. Then we will finalize the journey in the Petén Lagoon. It will be full moon, where we will bathe in the waters of one of the biggest lagoons in the whole Central Mayan rainforest, and then visit Tikal, this amazing, huge site of the Maya classical area. So we're going to launch the details of this journey, this expedition soon, and I hope that you can make it into a path of abundance and of thriving.